Life is full of surprises, unexpected medical bills, car repairs, job changes. An emergency fund is your safety net, helping to keep you afloat without going into debt. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe, a licensed, certified public accountant with over 10 years' experience in corporate and public accounting. I have an extensive background in accounting, audit, and taxes, and I'm all about helping you take control of your money by living smarter. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on all notifications. And be sure to check out the blog site where we post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today, we're talking about one of the most important aspects of financial wellness, budgeting to build an emergency fund. Stick with me and I'll show you how to create one step by step. Let's get into it. So, why does an emergency fund even matter? An emergency fund is basically money set aside for unexpected expenses. Experts recommend 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. Think of it as your financial airbag. It keeps your life on track when emergencies hit. Without it, you risk relying on credit cards or loans, which can create long term debt problems. So, you may be asking yourself, how do I know what my 3 to 6 months of living expenses actually are? Step one is to know what you spend. Write down your essential monthly expenses. This is going to include your housing, utilities, groceries, transportations, insurance, and any minimum debt payments. This is your saving target. For example, if your essentials cost is $3,000 per month, a 3 month emergency fund will be $9,000 that we're aiming to save for. And don't remember, once you start trying to build this emergency fund, life is always happening. But we just want to be consistent and make sure that we're trying our best every time we're building this egg nest. Now that we know what our essential living expenses are, we're going to create a budget that prioritizes savings. Now that you know what your target expenses are, now we're going to talk about building that budget. The first thing you want to do is you're going to want to pay yourself first. You're going to treat your emergency fund like a reoccurring bill. This is something that is non negotiable. You're going to have to make sure before you pay any other bills that you take that money that you set aside towards your savings goal and put it into your savings first. Next, you're going to want to cut any discretionary spending. This means that we're going to reduce anything that doesn't add to value to where we're trying to go. So this means reducing our dining out, cutting off some subscriptions that we don't really use, and other non-essential spending. So instead of maybe going out for lunch with coworkers every day, how we're going to pack our lunch because it's not adding to what we need to do and it's really unnecessary. Third, we're going to make sure we automate our savings. So this is part of part one, which is paying yourself first. We're going to set up an automated transfer so your funds can grow without you even thinking about it. So that way you don't have to pause and think, oh man, do I really want to put this in my savings? No, it's automatically going to come out. Remember, even small amounts matter, whether you start with $50 or $100 per month. It'll add up over time. We just want to be consistent and get started. That's the biggest thing we want to do right now in this phase. So far, we've already established what our essentials needs are for the 3 to 6 months of living expenses. We set a budget that prioritizes savings. Next, we're going to set up some goals to track our progress for where we're headed towards. Remember, we're going to start small and then gradually build. Rome wasn't built in a day, so don't expect for you to be able to reach all your goals overnight. And then we're going to celebrate milestones. Maybe at every once we save up $500, maybe we'll uh we'll maybe do something, or once we get to 1,000 or 5,000, it keeps your motivation high. Review progress monthly or quarterly and adjust your contributions if necessary and keep moving toward your target goal. Just remember, we're going to set up systems in place. Motivation alone doesn't always get you to where you want to go. But when you have a good system, that is hard to, even when motivation isn't there or you don't feel like it, those systems will keep you on track and keep you going to where you want to go. Step four is to keep your funds accessible but not tempting. Your emergency fund should be easy to access but not easy to spend. Maybe you want to open up a separate high yield saving account and that works best. You want to avoid investment accounts that are volatile or have penalties for withdrawals early. Liquidity is king. Just remember, you don't want to put it somewhere where you can see it and you could easily transfer it back and forth. Maybe you need to open up a separate bank account to keep it out of sight, out of mind. It's something that you know is there in the back of your mind, but you also can reach it at any point in time, whether you're traveling overseas or maybe whether you're at home. The key here is to make sure that it's accessible, but it's not tempting. So it's not, we're not dangling the carrot in front of our face where we know we could get it, but we know in the back of our mind if we ever needed it, God forbid, in an emergency situation, it's easy to get to. Life is forever changing, and so is your budget. The only thing constant in life is change. So remember, once we set our budget, it's not something that we're just going to set and never change. Our budget should be just as fluid as our life is. Things are always gradually happening, whether maybe we reached our goals and we need to adjust. Maybe we had to downgrade in our job. Maybe we had to take care of a loved one who maybe fell ill. There's all different types of situations where our budget maybe is just not set in stone. So make sure you set a money day where you can set aside at least maybe 30 minutes that one day where you're not distracted and you can review your budget, see what's working, what's not working, and adjust accordingly to your lifestyle and expense changes. One thing that gets a lot of people is even getting married or moving in with a significant other and having children. Those things really change your life a lot. Um, One, your significant other may have a certain way that they feel like they want to spend, and you have a different way that you want to see spending. So you really have to make sure that you're adjusting and making sure that you're meeting somewhere in the middle because life is forever changing. So remember, we want to be consistent. We don't want to reach our goals uh, quickly, but we keep dipping into our emergency fund every time we feel like there's some kind of small inconvenience. We want to be consistent. Motivation means a lot, but we want to put in place what we're setting up as systems to help when motivation isn't high. Consistency is key. Remember, emergency funds provide that financial security. Life is always lifing, whether that's that unknown car repair that's coming down the pike, maybe the insurance money that's coming out that you may have forgotten, or maybe it's you had to take a job loss that you didn't see coming down. So that emergency fund is going to help provide that financial security, so we're not going into long-term debt by taking out loans or credit cards. Remember, start today for long-term peace of mind. It's never too late, no matter what age or where you're at in life right now. Want to start today to help start building that emergency fund, and start small. Even if you only have to start with $5 or $10 a week, that can go a long way in the long term. Remember, building an emergency fund isn't just about money, it's about having a peace of mind. Start today. Even small contributions add up over time. If this video helped you out, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more financial guidance. And come back next week where we'll talk about what are financial anchors.